You know what this weekend is?
The weekend we met?
No, that's 2 more weeks.
You're so
No.
good at keeping all that straight.
That's the weekend, the Sunday after Labor Day.
Okay. This weekend is, I have no idea.
It's the first weekend, or this past weekend was the last Saturday. There will not be a college football, college basketball game on until April 8th.
Oh. How's that for
those of you who there is
foreshadowing my future?
I need to find it. That was the one thing I wanted to do. Someone has put a video out about October 12th, how to get out of anything that's going on Saturday, October 12th. Which basically is fake being sick, like leading up to that, so that you're home. So like nobody planning any fall weddings on October 12th. Nobody planning anything on October 12th.
I'll be running the Urban Bourbon on October 12th.
In Louisville?
Yeah.
Perfect. Then I can stay home and watch football all day because there's like all these games that have never happened before, haven't happened in 50 years, all this stuff that you have to plan for October 12th to be the Saturday. Don't plan anything if you want to watch.
It is Mom's birthday, so you'll be responsible for chocolate cake.
Thanks.
And maybe marina dinner.
Write that down. Text me. Put it on my Google Calendar right now. So, now there's that. I cannot believe I'm actually getting blowback from False Fall. I actually posted this morning about False Fall.
I shared it.
I know. Some people are just unhappy, I think is what it is.
Why? What's the blowback? I don't understand.
I never heard False Fall before.
Well,
they're a cranky old white guy. And I say cranky old white guys like they're only 6 years older than we are, and it just come on.
It is. I mean, it's cold. I have on. It
was like in the 50s in Raleigh this morning.
I ran a mile this morning before I went to yoga, and I wore my shirt the whole time. I mean, it's cold.
We're gonna get paid back for it though. I'm telling you.
I hear.
1, it'll be back in the 90s before you know it. Thankfully.
Yeah.
2, peak of hurricane season is coming up. Come on. Whenever we get a false fall, and I have done, I talked about it last night on the Carolina Weather Group briefly, podcast I was on last night.
Shameless plug.
I want to shameless plug the hell out of things. Come on. It's the only way you end up with 4 million views on one video on Twitter in the last week.
Another shameless plug.
Yeah, we can talk about that. The pitfalls that come with that. But I was doing some very initial data searches and looking when we've had a false fall. When my definition of that is when the temperature hasn't topped 83 degrees and it wasn't raining for 3 consecutive days at the Elizabeth City Airport, because that's our closest climatological station to do it scientifically. Cape Hatteras, you can't use that because the weather gets weird down there because of the temperatures in the water. But the years that we've seen that 3 times now, we've had hurricanes that hit in the last 13 years. Now, we've had false falls that didn't count to me because it was raining or it was a tropical system that's moving through. So, yes. We're due, folks. Just because we got nice weather and you pumpkin spice lovers.
I was going to say, Starbucks is like making a killing today off of my friends alone.
Oh, is it launching today?
No, I've got like several friends already posting like they've got their pumpkin lattes from Starbucks this morning.
You know the pumpkin spice craze is dying.
Well, I hope not. I love pumpkin spice.
See, I hate it.
Well, that's your problem.
Apple. If you're going to do something, do apple. That apple spritz, Aperol spritz. What was that
I
one?
sent you Aperol spritz. Yeah, I do want to make that. I want to make those.
What was it? Frozen apples and ice.
You did an ice cube.
Yeah. But you put like the apple and
the anise, the star, like you put
star
cinnamon.
fruit. No, star fruit, starch. I don't know. You did all kinds of stuff. It was pretty cool.
I would like to do that.
No, apple is the flavor of fall, not pumpkin. Pumpkin stinks. I hate pumpkin.
At Walmart they have it's gotten like now I think we bought it all up, but they had the Werther's. And Werther's has like obviously the harder candy, but then they have like a chewy caramel. And so they had apple caramel, pumpkin spice caramel, cinnamon caramel, and maple caramel. So I have been buying those and keeping them in the pharmacy for everybody. And my favorite. My favorite is the cinnamon one, but pumpkin spice wasn't bad. Apple one, you could combine them and kind of get like an apple cinnamon flavor.
No.
But those were good. But now I can't. Now the only ones we can find are the apple, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, but yeah, those are that.
Yeah.
But it is a little chilly.
'Tis a little chilly, but folks, it ain't over yet. It's still summer. So, all right, let's start the show. It's the Sam
and M
podcast, episode number 34. And you find it at samwalkerobxnews.com, on your favorite podcast app, on YouTube and Facebook. We talk about like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, and share. All those very important. Getting very much more important starting with this episode. And give us the 5 stars, too. Brought to you by CoinJock Catering Company, Miles Carpet Cleaning, Harlow Photography, Crabdaddy 2024 Seafood and Wine Festival at Sanctuary Vineyards, Caribbean Pools and Spas, and CMIT Solutions, the Outer Banks, and ToyotaTower.com. All right. The like, share, follow, subscribe. Let's get to that after the shout-outs, because it's going to be very important that you do that. If you want to get into the winner circle, if you want to be a winner, you got to like, follow, share, subscribe. We're going to talk about that in a moment. All right, shout-outs. Thanks to Stephen Cook. I'm going to say Cook. It may be Coke. K-O-C-H. Who up in Pennsylvania commented on last week's show. He loves the podcast. They live in Pennsylvania, love all things Outer Banks, and love things all Disney. They are annual pass holders.
Yay.
Hey. And so watching these have been so fun. So thanks, Stephen. That means we do have an audience for the Disney stuff.
Just to be clear, it's not that I say we don't. I just don't want it to become all Disney.
Okay. No, it's not. And we're going to do that, especially because we're coming up in running season. 2 weeks from now is the Disneyland half. I saw.
Yeah. DW's got his.
DW's got his stuff. I saw Manny Runs Disney. He had a video out trying to figure out if this happens, springtime surprise, could we see the Star Wars theme come back? So,
well, not this year.
Oh,
not
that's
2025.
Right.
They've already announced.
Yeah, maybe 2026. Okay. Also, thanks to Joanne Whistler, said she really enjoyed the video. She's down in Melbourne, Florida. So any other shout outs for you that you have?
Just that I've gotten back into yoga. There's a new studio that's opened up in Currituck. And the one girl who was at the class the other night, Alyssa Archer, she actually kind of got me into yoga when she was teaching over in Camden. And she was there, and I think she's James or Jonathan's age, so she's young. And she's like, just so you know, I've listened to every podcast. And she said, and it might sound weird, but sometimes I listen when I can't fall asleep. She said, your voices are very calming. And I was like, oh, I love that you listen. And sometimes I listen and fall asleep because I'm bored of myself. But she's a sweetheart anyway. I just even remember her being little in elementary school and that red hair and those pretty curls. But she's a sweetheart, and it meant a lot that this young girl felt to tell me that she even listened to she told me so. And then we have a huge shout out to Mr. Jeffrey Dover.
That's right. Yes.
Carrie Dover and I are friends, and Jeff, the husband. I mean, we're all friends, but I've always had a real keen fondness for Jeffrey Dover, and the first time I really, really got to know Jeffrey and Carrie and Jeff, we had gone to the mountains. And we're staying with the Ammons, and Amy Ennis was there with the boys, and we were doing a weekend up in the mountains of Boone. And Jonathan was there, and Jonathan was Jonathan. He's all over the place.
Right.
And Jeffrey just was so calm with him, so kind to him, didn't get irritated with him. I think they may have done some Legos. I mean, Jeffrey was older, but Jeffrey it impressed me that a young kid, I mean, Jonathan had friends. I don't want to make it sound like he didn't have friends, but his brother, James, was there, and James was getting irritated, and Jeffrey just like rolled with it. He was very, and really was kind to Jonathan, and that just meant a lot to me. So I've always had a soft spot for Jeffrey anyway. And I think Jeffrey, is just a very smart young man, a kind young man, but also very athletic.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it all, but you go ahead and tell why this is an amazing accomplishment.
All right, so Jeffrey will be enshrined this fall at the Christopher Newport University Athletics Hall of Fame. He is the most decorated distance runner in school history. 5-time Division III All-American. Finished runner-up in the indoor mile in 2000 during senior year. Went 6th in the 3,000 meters in the indoors at the NCAA Division III National Championships. He's the first athlete in Christopher Newport and Capital Area Conference history to compete in the Division III cross-country, indoor, and outdoor track and field championships. So fall, winter, spring in consecutive years. It means he competed in all those six events in 2017 and 2018. And not many people have done that in any of NCAA divisions, but to do it, so he is going to be one of 6 inducted into the Christopher Newport Athletics Hall of Fame. I'm scrolling through the story right now if you're watching on the video. On Thursday, October 17th, they'll have a ceremony up at CNU and Newport News, and then they'll be honored at halftime of the October 19th football game against Rowan. So congratulations to Jeff Dover. It was funny because I was like, do I reference him as Jeffrey? Because we all know him as Jeffrey.
Right.
But his bio and his stats and all that is Jeff, which is
and
kind of
I asked Carrie, and Carrie said he's fine with Jeff. That's
okay.
fine. Yeah,
right,
I did ask her. I meant to tell you that.
So, so we got the story up at samwalkerobxnews.com.
And in talking to her, she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, yay. And then she's like, is it really that big a deal? Why is this a big deal? And you had said when you found out when we were all together and you found out, you're like, wait a minute, and asking all these questions. So then she's like, well, is this a big, like, being the moms, we're like, yeah, they just do what they're supposed to do, you know, whatever. And so we were talking about yesterday just for a little bit. And she's like, yeah, I realize, like, he's young. He, like, to be inducted already. I mean, he's not even 30.
Yeah.
And what he has accomplished, like you said, the things that not very many people have done. She's like, I guess I just didn't realize it. Jeffrey was just being Jeffrey and doing amazing things and being his mom. I was like, yeah, that's Jeffrey. So what's the big deal? You know?
What you do. Go where you go and do what you do.
And I think also he was all academic too.
Yeah. So, he was the 2018 Capital Athletic Conference Male Athlete of the Year. He was the first captain, which is the mascot for CNU. He was the first in school history to get that honor. And he was the first distance runner in league history to win the conference's top athletic award.
So,
I mean,
Jeffrey, like, on a Sunday will be like, yeah, I ran 16 miles, like, as just a warm up. And Carrie and I, and it's no big secret, we will do our half marathons, and half the time we haven't trained. And he's like, Mom, I don't know that that's a good idea, like, to go and do that. And we're like, we do it. And now, mind you, it takes us 3 hours. It carries faster than I am, so maybe not even 3 for her. But Jeffrey runs 16 miles in like an hour and a half. Like, he is freaking amazing. Yeah. We kept wanting him to do, I pushed a couple times with Ainsley's Angels. I pushed, a disabled, a non-runner in a running chair or whatever. And they're very active. There's several groups that are active up in Hampton Roads area, and Jeffrey lives up that way. And so we were like, Jeffrey, this would be great for you. And then we get to laugh, and we're like, heck no, the kid would never see anything or do anything. He'd be like, zoom. Because Jeffrey once he starts running, he just goes. But anyway, congratulations, Jeffrey. The Walkers are very, very proud of you, as is Curry Tuck in general. And you make us proud. So that was a big shout out to Jeffrey.
Yep. So congrats to Jeff Dover. And again, we can read that at samwalkerobxnews.com. Got any others?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. We've been teasing it for the last couple of shows that we're going to have a chance for you to win. And what we're going to do is give you a chance to win tickets to Crabdaddy 2024. So how's this going to work? First off, let us tell you what Crabdaddy is, in case you don't know. It is once a year that Crabdaddy emerges from the Currituck Sound for a celebration of fresh seafood, local wines, and beers that showcase the best of the Currituck Outer Banks. You can catch Crabdaddy at Sanctuary Vineyards in Jarvisburg on Saturday, October 5th from 11:30 to 4:30. Now, tickets are on sale now for $60 per adult at sanctuaryvineyards.com. That includes a signature Crabdaddy wine glass to keep and sample over 20 local wines and all-you-can-eat steamed blue crabs and barbecue, an old-school curry tuck fish fry, and all the sides and desserts as well. And there's live music, hay rides to a pumpkin patch. You get to pick a pumpkin or gourd. That'll be in exchange for special discounts and prizes. And there's a Crabdaddy Olympics, the Great Sea Tuck, Great Stomp, the Crab Pot Shuffle, and the Crab Crawl Race, just to name a few. It's the 2024 Crabdaddy Seafood and Wine Festival, Saturday, October 5th at Sanctuary Vineyards in Jarvisburg. You can get your tickets now at sanctuaryvineyards.com. Now, here's how this is going to work. We want to send you to Crabdaddy 2024. So we've got 2 tickets just for listeners of the Sam
and M
podcast. Just like and share the podcast in all platforms, and you're entered to win. So that means if it's on Facebook, on Twitter, on Threads, on Instagram, on YouTube, on any of the podcast apps you listen to us on, all that stuff, like and share. So you got to like the episode, and you've got to share the episode, and we'll put you on the list for a chance to win. That's for 2 tickets. Now, if you're signed up as a member of SamWalkerOBXNews.com, then you get a chance to win a pair of tickets as well. Now, we got the exclusives for the founders. If you're a founder, you can win a 4-pack of tickets. So everyone who signs up as a founder or is already signed up as a founder at SamWalkerOBXNews.com will be entered to win the 4-pack, with annual founders getting 5 bonus entries. That's $240 in tickets to Crabdaddy for just the price of being a founder. We're going to announce the winners on Thursday, September the 26th. Now, I know it sounds a little complicated, but basically here's the deal. Like and share, sign up to be a founder, you got a chance to win tickets to Crabdaddy. Okay? That's that simple. And it's all Sanctuary Vineyards and SamWalkerOBXNews.com. Does that make sense? Or not? Did it make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So basically,
founders will be in a separate bowl.
Yeah, so there's a separate entry. If you're a founder, you're in a different drawing.
If you're a member,
you're in a different drawing. With the founders, it's 4 tickets. Members, it's 2 tickets. So sign up to be a founder, then you get that entry. I mean, it's, $60 tickets, $240 in tickets. Come on.
So my brain is like, we have to have 3 different every week.
I got 3 different spreadsheets. That's how it works.
Are we not going to manually draw out?
It's 2024. It's spreadsheets and number generators. There's actually a big wheel. We'll put together a wheel that'll have numbers, and you'll click it, and it'll spin it and do it.
Oh. Yeah. I want to draw.
You want an old school draw a name? You want to write up all those?
You can print them, and I can.
I see. Okay, well, that's true. I could print them. All right, we'll figure that part out September 26th. We'll do it on the show September 26th. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's do this one because, hey, we need to thank more of our corporate champions here on the Sam
and M
podcast. So we're getting good at that, aren't we?
Thanks to Miles Carpet Cleaning, the kids are headed back to school, and your carpets, rugs, and upholstery are all showing it's been a rough summer on them. Now's the time to call Miles Carpet Cleaning and get it all looking and smelling fresh and new again. Serving Curry Tuck in the Outer Banks, the Miles Carpet Cleaning family has been cleaning things up on both sides of the water for the last 8 years. Take advantage of their back-to-school special now to get 3 rooms and a hallway cleaned plus deodorizer, all for just $80. That's right, get those carpets cleaned for just $80. But hurry, the back-to-school special only lasts through August 31st. Call now, 252-207-6707, and find more great offers by following Miles Carpet Cleaning on Facebook. Robert Miles and his family will take care of you like you're one of the family. Forget the rest, call the best. Miles Carpet Cleaning, 252-207-6707. That's 252-207-6707.
And thanks to Coin Jock Catering Company. Looking to elevate that next event from ordinary to extraordinary? Well, then look no further than Coin Jock Catering Company. Whether it's a corporate luncheon, a wedding reception, a family reunion, a holiday party, or any special occasion, CoinJock Catering Company comes to you with their on-site or drop-off catering, and you can hold your special event at their waterfront venue in CoinJock. Plus, the CoinJock Catering food trucks ready to serve their one-of-a-kind creations, from the redneck egg roll and brisket nachos to the bang bang shrimp, and throw in that peach cobbler egg roll as well. All kinds of stuff from their mobile kitchen when they pop up throughout the area, and at Morris Farm Market in Barco, open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 to 5:30. CoinJock Catering Company still hiring. They do have weekend hours, some weekdays available. They're going to have their catering events kicking into high gear, and the food truck going to be going around, so they're going to be looking for help with that. It's hourly pay plus tips depending on position. To book CoinJock Catering Company for your next event or employment opportunities, call Louie and David at 704-502-8074. That's 704-502-8070. And like their Facebook page to find out their daily specials, locations, and more info at CoinJock Catering Company. It's kind of weird doing the show. We're doing the show Thursday mornings. First time we've done this. So, one, it's weird because it's the morning.
It's our second morning one, though.
Is it?
We did one in the morning. Yeah, we did one in the morning the week we were going to run or something. Like, yeah.
Oh.
When I got back from Princess, we did it like the next morning. We did a morning one.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But this is Thursday morning, so
yeah,
this is like a little more stress because we got to get it.
Yeah, get it done and get it out. So, yeah, it feels just weird. So, all right. So what are we talking about next?
Well, I had talked to you about. Well, first of all, y'all should have seen us trying to do this show prep. It was comical. Sam, I'm more of a like, hey, let's just get in there and start chatting, and then Sam's more like, well, I want to have my.
Well, I want to have. It's one of those things that probably be the over preparedness for someone who has never been one to prepare for anything, to just like jump in and go. When it comes to this stuff, I'm always tried to be over prepared. It's one of those things where you want to have like 12 things, so and you may only do 3, you may only do one, but I'd rather have more than not enough. And there are days where trying to get ready for the show, there's more than not enough, and there's days where there's not enough. This felt like one of those days. But then as we got talking, and you were like, yeah, we could do that. We could do this. So.
I said, okay, stop, close your eyes, breathe 3 times, open and look at me. Let's just talk about it. So, anyway, so we didn't necessarily land on anything in particular, right. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, we've been working with Toyota.
Yep.
And Monday night was a session that we kind of worked on, like what happens in your childhood and how that creates your behaviors, and if they're good behaviors, bad behaviors, and I hate using good and bad, but
yeah, it's simple.
And how to start to alter your thought process to make the bad ones not good or whatever. And before we get started, this is not anything bad against our parents. As kids, we internalize things differently than maybe what is intended. Maybe sometimes we don't. Not trying to minimize things that happen and incidents that happen and things that shape you or whatever. But sometimes it's how we internalize and how we go forward. So anyway, it was kind of a very emotional. I was very emotional doing it. I know everyone will find that shocking. But anyway,
speaking of tough, Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel.
He traveled. That was not supposed to happen. I'm sorry.
Are you saying I'm tough?
No. I got that video. I was queuing that up for later. So. Yeah.
So anyway, what I have found, and let me be very clear, I've never done therapy. Therapy in my life is not something I have done until Jonathan passed away. And then I did therapy just to deal with his passing. My father died when I was 6, and I never did therapy. I don't think therapy was like a big thing back then, probably. Truly, my therapist when my father died was the librarian at my elementary school. And she just knew I loved books. And so she found a lot of books, and she would go to other libraries or buy books that dealt with children who'd lost a parent.
Right.
And she's like, Emily, I found this book you might like. So really, truly, I've never done therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, after Jonathan died, I did therapy. And I did therapy with one therapist who was a sweetheart. She was very nice, but I don't think she'd ever had a parent who lost a child. And she started crying during the therapy session, and then I just felt like we were just hitting a wall. And I didn't know you could even fire a therapist. And I don't mean fire like you're fired, but I mean, I just didn't know. I thought once you picked one, I mean, and I was 46 years old, 47, I don't even
46.
know, 46. And Jeff Cahill said to me, he said, you do realize that you can move on to a different therapist, that you do not have to stay. If you're not getting what you need from this, you can move on. I was like, really? He's like, it sounds to me like you're being her therapist more than, and again, it's nothing against her. It was just, I think it was just a situation she wasn't familiar with.
Right.
So I did, and I thought, well, that didn't work. And then I found a man over in Edenton, thanks to Tanya, my friend Tanya. I found a therapist over in Edenton who he had lost a son, and he did this thing called grief recovery. So it's almost like Alcoholics Anonymous, but for grief.
Right.
I know I'm being long-winded. I'm sorry. But anyway.
It's a podcast. You can do whatever you want.
So I did go to that and did that. But what happened was every day I would do it, and I only did it like once every 2 weeks. It was kind of intense. But the next day, that night I would come home from therapy, and the next day I was just a bundle of whatever emotion. I was sad. I felt like I had been beat up. I was tired, lethargic. Nothing kind of got me out of that funk. And sometimes it would last for more than a couple days, but I usually tried to do a therapy session when I knew I wouldn't have to work I learned quickly to do that, so I wouldn't have to work the next day. And so this past Monday, and I haven't been in that therapy for a couple years now. I made it through the program. I've actually looked at going and becoming certified through that program because it really helped me. Anyway, Monday was very reminiscent to that. On Tuesday, I did get up and do 5 miles, but my body ached. I just felt, and I really don't think it was a physical ache. Like, it did physically ache, but I think my emotions brought it on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, so you don't feel like there was like this release that that reversed itself and turned it. That sounds like it reversed itself and turned into tension, but that there was this emotional release that's physically draining.
It is.
It's an emotional release that's physically draining. And
we had Waylon, and I thought, well, I'll be cheering. And I literally was like, Waylon, let's watch some more TV. Let's do this. Like, we got outside, and you think, okay, I'll sit in a chair outside and I won't have to really think. And he's like, Grandma, can you tie this to the tree? Like, he kept me busy all morning. And then I took Mom to the dentist in the afternoon. And so by the end of the day, I was feeling really grumpy. I was just even more grumpy, more kind of a bundle of nerves inside. And that morning, I had seen on Facebook about this new yoga studio in Currituck. And I thought, well, I think I'll go to the class at 6:15 tonight. Mm-hmm. And I went, and about an hour before, I thought, I'm just going to cancel. I thought, no, just go. But, whatever. I came home from yoga so much lighter and so much in a better headspace. And it's not because during yoga I thought about what was going on or what was bothering me. It's almost like they tell you to open your mind and just kind of let it all go. And I never can picture doing that. But something at yoga, I literally just breathed, and it intentionally or unintentionally, it just kind of came out. And I mean, those emotions are still there, but it's more in focus or more not running me down. And, I mean, I felt like I came in a much better mood. And, so what I wanted to kind of discuss today was, one, how that grief comes in. It does come in waves. And this was an intentional wave. I mean, it was it was a session.
It was a triggered. It was a session triggered.
Triggered. Yeah. And we knew all day Monday that we were warned, hey, we're going to talk about your childhoods.
Right.
So we kind of we had a wonderful day together with Harper Jane, and we kind of spent that day just preparing. I feel like it was an unintentional preparedness for what was coming.
Right.
So the day was great, and then that session was great. A lot came out of it, but it was also very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So then Tuesday, I was kind of in a bad place, and yoga brought me out of it. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is I don't know how everyone else's grief goes. I don't know. And I don't ever really believe, and I did some reading, there's people who say those stages of grief is kind of like not real. It's kind of a BS thing because people think, oh, I've got to hit this. Once I get through this level, I'm done. Once I get to here, I'm done.
It's the whole anger, all that stuff, all those different things.
There's like 5 stages, and it's not the truth. You kind of go in and out and whatever. So first of all, like I never hit like an anger stage in grief. None of my grief do I ever get angry about things. So like that's not something I've ever dealt with. But it makes me very sad, or makes me very like just, I don't even know how bringing up those topics and dealing with them just makes me, and I'm dealing with the grief, and again, part of that grief is my behaviors that come out of it or whatever. But the old Emily, even the Emily after Jonathan passed, so that grief, the old Emily would never have even looked for a class or signed up for a yoga class. Mm-hmm. The old Emily wouldn't have gotten up and done the 5 miles that she had been putting off for 2 days.
Old Emily would have stayed in her pajamas with the sweatshirt on and ate a bag of potato chips.
3 bags of potato chips. Yeah.
All right.
So, and I'm not going to say I didn't eat some food, but
we still do.
But I always thought people were a little bit kooky when they said, "Oh, exercise helps you. Exercise helps you." Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say the run helped me. Sometimes when I run, my mind goes crazy and I think of all the things I should be doing or trying to get stuff. So sometimes I come back from a run a little bit more overwhelmed because I'm like, oh, I should have been doing this. But it was exercise. And that was at the beginning of the day. And it didn't necessarily help me with my mental state, I guess. But yoga really, really did help me. And I signed up again. I was there at 7 this morning, ran a mile before I got in the car and went. And I've signed up for another class next week, and I've already bought a pass. So I don't know what helps other people or doesn't help other people, but I would have probably told you 5 years ago yoga wouldn't have helped me, but I think it might help me.
Oh, all right.
That and just my exercise. My mindset's just different.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not letting myself wallow for more than a day or not even a whole day. But anyway, I just thought it was something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes you notice growth in yourself, and maybe other people have some ideas or can tell me, hey, I do this with my grief. And
yeah, that would be good. I mean, we've got, we got Miles Carpet Cleaner. Robert's father passed away, and I messaged him yesterday and say, hey, make sure I got all the details right about the special he's got going on. And it's just, I forgot how I put it, but basically said, hope you're doing okay, that type thing. And he said it was tough. I mean, he's only a week and a half in to losing his father, which is a different, you've been through that, but not at, you did it at 6, not
right. I didn't have
46.
All those years I didn't have all those years of, all those memories. I just have very few.
Right.
So
different story, but at the same time, grief is grief.
Yeah.
And it comes in waves, and it manifests itself in all these different ways at times, and shows up when you least expect it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's that time of year too when Fuma pictures are really.
Oh yeah, Fuma pictures are rolling in now, and all that. So yeah, there's always those reminders. Football season. Yeah. All that different stuff. So yeah. Sometimes the joys of social media, and sometimes the pains of social media.
Right.
So. All right. Let's thank some more corporate champions. I'm gonna flip things around them. So we're gonna do this one. We will have more for you right after this. Ready to dive into something new? Caribbean Pools and Spas, the official pool and spa service company of the Sam and M podcast, is now hiring service professionals for the 2024 season and beyond. Caribbean Pools and Spas is looking for dedicated individuals who enjoy being outdoors and want to create unforgettable experiences for our customers. With outstanding pay, instant incentives, flexible weekly schedules, hands-on training, and full support from the great Caribbean Pools and Spas management team that'll back you up. Routes are available right now from Corolla to South Nags Head and everywhere in between. Call today, 252-480-2900. That's 252-480-2900. Or drop an email to alex@caribbeanobx.com. That's alex@caribbeanobx.com. Whether you're an experienced pro or just starting out, Caribbean is the best pool and spa service company to work for on the Outer Banks. I should know. I work for them too and love it. Join our team and make a splash with the official pool and spa service company of the Sam & M podcast, Caribbean Pools and Spas.
And thanks to Harlow Photography, another season of school sports is here, and it's the perfect time to have Harlow Photography catch your athlete in action. Whether it's game day shots on the field or court, or a custom session that's literally lit with fire. Literally. Stephanie Harlow at Harlow Photography will capture memories that will last a lifetime. Book your sessions today with Harlow Photography at sharlowphotography.com and like Stephanie Harlow photos on Facebook.
I gotta update that music. I just realized.
I really can't say enough about her athletic pictures.
Yeah.
Like through the years, they've just gotten better and better.
Right.
So like, if you have an athlete, a football player, a cheerleader, a volleyball player. I know she does for Curry Tuck. I know she does those pictures, but I would highly suggest as a parent, go ahead and get a special session with her and do it because she's amazing. All the pictures, and every year she comes up with something new trend, new whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't have any kids anymore in sports, but I look forward to seeing what she puts out there.
There's the photos she did last year of Catholic high school's football team out on the beach, out on the ocean front, that are pretty cool. The water photos, that's been like the trend, like on the socials for the different like uniform reveals and things, like walking out of the water and things like that. She's got those. The flame pictures, those are hilarious. I mean, hilarious. Those, I still don't know how she figured that one out.
She's so cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. I want to say, we want to remind you and say thank you to everyone who has signed up as a founder at samwalkerobxnews.com. And if you haven't done so yet, why not do it now? Because, hey, we've got a way for you to do it right up front. Get a full year of access as an annual founder at samwalkerobxnews.com. A great way to show your support for me and return. You get a 10% discount on the monthly fee. Plus, we mentioned it earlier, you get those 6 entries.
You said 5.
Well, it's 5 bonus entries. You're already a member. You get 1 entry. You get 5 bonus entries as a founder on an annual status.
I have a dumb question.
Yeah.
So you have 100 people. They have either 100 chances or 600 chances. It's the same people.
No. Annual founders get the 5 bonus. Founders. Annual.
So you'll have in the one, it'll be annual and founder.
Yeah. Right.
Gotcha.
They get extra. Yeah. So for just $129, you're supporting journalism as unique as the Outer Banks itself. Reducing transaction fees help me create quality content faster and guarantee your access for the next 12 months. For existing members, just go to the managed membership on Patreon and look for samwalkerobxnews.com. For new members, just go to samwalkerobxnews.com and click the join button. Remember, the 10% discount as a founder with annual status is only available for a limited time at samwalkerobxnews.com. All right, I'm going to talk about this. I'm kind of hodgepodge it here. One, my comment earlier about false fall and how unhappy people want to just comment.
Yes. This
week has been a great example of the difference between unhappy and happy people. Because daggone it, I'm happy. I as negative as I can be about some things.
And believe me, he can.
Yeah. You know what? this unhappy trend and angry and all that stuff. No, flush it, get rid of it. I mean, and if you're that, I don't need you.
Well, do.
We do, but it's just, how can you go through life as angry and unhappy over stuff that's frankly just silly? You know?
There are a lot of people like that. I think there really are a lot of unhappy people. I will say that this week, especially, I'm feeling hope. I'm not even feeling happy. I'm feeling hope this week.
Yeah.
I'm seeing young people speaking out or doing things, not even speaking, but doing things that that make me proud to see. I don't even know how to say it. I'm just seeing hope. And if you know the Walkers, you know that our TVs have been every night this week. And we've been listening to speeches and watching people, and the amount of hope and excitement that I feel that I haven't probably felt in a long time. And I feel it from old people, from young people, from people of all races, colors, sexualities, sexual preferences, whatever the right word is. I feel hope through their eyes. And so this week to me, I know I just talked about grief and depression,
right?
But truly, I just feel happy and hope about things. And that's just, I'm not trying to talk about anything other than just watching it and feeling it. And I don't know. But you're right. There are some grumpy people.
There are some grumpy people.
Yeah.
I mean, aggrieved for no reason.
Yeah.
Or totally confused or have been told that they're supposed to be aggrieved. That's a lot of it. They've been told that they're supposed to not to be unhappy and aggrieved. And that's probably more frustrating because, come on.
I think that most of us would say life could always be better. There's always going to be things that are going on. There's always things that could be better.
Right.
But there's also things that we need to. And I do think Toyota has us every day doing our journaling and being accountable and saying, what am I grateful for? That's the very first thing. And Sam and I we've gotten up in the mornings now, and every morning we each write in our own journal, and then we text it to her and to us. And, it does change your mindset. Like, it does make you, again, and then you talk about your goals of the day, which are things that you want to change or things you want to accomplish. But starting your day off with, I am grateful for. Mm-hmm. And the first day we did it, you were like, I was writing away, and you were like, I don't even know what to be grateful for. And I was like, well, I'm just grateful that I got to wake up and look out the window and look at this water that's peaceful and the sun is shimmering off of it. And you were like, oh, it doesn't have to be. I guess my point is, it doesn't have to be this big declaration of I'm thankful for. It can, but it doesn't always have to be. Sometimes you just have to stop yourself and be like, what at this moment can I look around me? And you can find something to be grateful for. I could be at work and be miserable at work, but be like, I'm grateful I have a job.
Right. Yeah. Grateful I have you. Grateful I have kids. Grateful I have grandkids. I mean, it's those types of things. And I'm, the journaling thing has been a little difficult for me. And I've mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned on the show before, but when you do what I do, and you do it for 4 hours, especially people, when I was doing the talk show, I think I mentioned this before. No, I mentioned it with Taylor. When I was doing the talk show, the last thing I really wanted to do when I got home was talk, which aggravated you because I was talking for 2 hours to myself, essentially. I don't want to talk.
And now I'm that way. I get home, I'm like,
Yeah, I know, because you're having to do it. Yeah. Writing. The writing about myself has been very difficult. Writing in general, if I'm not writing about something else. When I write about myself, that's very hard. It's very difficult to do for me. But when it was this writing this journal, it's like, man, I've got to write. I'm writing all day. And I'm writing, whether it's 200 words on the DMV having to be closed to 1,500 word think piece. The last thing I want to do is write again. Because I'm writing about myself. I'm going to be short. I'm going to be brief. I'm going to be to the point. Get to it and get out. But sometimes that's how the brain works. It's just like trying to prep for the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it is. It is a lot of hope out there. I see a lot of. I don't know. I just feel it. I will say, even though I had a day of bad, I came home from yoga and got on the TV and was like, oh. So anyway, I do think it's important.
The transmission.
Sorry.
I think it's important too. One of the things I've learned this week, probably I've learned or known before. I saw a man who I follow on TikTok, and he's not even 30 yet.
Mm-hmm.
He is a gay man who's married. He's a teacher and a counselor. And he happens to be in Chicago. And he said in his thing, I've been in therapy my whole life. I've been in therapy since I was a teenager. And this has been more healing to me than years of therapy. I looked around and I saw grown men crying tears of happiness, tears of sadness, tears of joy, tears of whatever it was. He said, but they openly cried and it was okay. He said, big men, strong, it didn't matter. He said, I saw more than one man crying openly. And I know for some people that may be weak, that may be not a thing.
There's a whole cottage industry that's making a fortune on telling teenagers on YouTube that is, they're, I'll name one of them. Clay Travis is a piece of shit. And
Sam.
I'm sorry. He is. Clay Travis.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you're lucky. He's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. But I'm going to just say it over and over again. He is one of the ones that, is ruining, alpha males and all this stuff and that whole bunch, the Ben Shapiro's and that type. Mm-hmm. Those guys are not, they're not men. They're weak little boys that are trying to capitalize, are trying to profit off of making big burly men.
We were just talking about grumpy people.
But they are. That's the thing. They are leading generations of men, of boys and men, down the path of that's how you're supposed to be grumpy and aggrieved and unhappy and all this smiley, the happiness and things like that. You can't be that way and be a man.
Right.
Whatever.
Well,
trash.
This young man who's almost 30, Mr. Williams, he made me just realize that we need to be, and we're coming around, but we just need to be more open about our emotions. Right. And we do. But he said that was he healed. He used the words. He said, I have healed in the last couple of days seeing this. Right. And that just again just gives me hope.
Yes.
So not to go too far, but just to say,
right.
I feel like a little bit of lightness in my step and a little bit of okay, we're going to be okay,
right.
Which we're going to be okay no matter what. But we might be better one way or the other.
I will say this right here. And when you say hope, that's all I can think of is Princess Leia got it right. So yes.
The transmission we received. What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
That's it. There you go. Yes. All right. Let's say thanks to more of our corporate champions, including say thank you to Toyota Towler, who has been a big help for us.
She's at toyotatowler.com. Are you ready to rise above the competition and lead with confidence, influence, and vision? Toyota Towler offers one-on-one coaching to become the best version of yourself so that no matter what happens on the outside, you become unshakable on the inside. Toyota has been guiding Sam through the journey of creating Sam Walker OBX News, avoiding the pitfalls of startup space, while keeping him focused on being the best reporter and entrepreneur that he can be. Whether you're a business person, a leader, or a rising leader, you're invited to have a conversation with Toyota to see if you're the type of person she can empower to go to the next level, whatever that looks like for you. Don't wait. Schedule your 30-minute clarity call today and learn more about Toyota at toyotatowler.com. That's TEUTATOWLER.com. Success starts with effective leadership, and that starts with Toyota's leadership coaching.
All right, and also want to say thanks to CMIT Solutions and CMIT Solutions. And when it comes to managing your business, it's important to have the right technology. That's why CMIT works to help businesses. Short for completely managed information technology, CMIT offers everything a business needs. Their services include tech support, computer and server security, cloud backup, secure Wi-Fi, business phones, and more. With CMIT's help, your technology will stay up and running. For more information, go to CMITOBX.com. Ready to go for a run?
Do you want to talk about being viral
I guess I can do that. Okay. All right.
for just a moment?
Yeah, we can talk about that. All right. Well, then let me do this. Yeah, so, well, in case you didn't know this, or in case you've been not following us at samwalkerobxnews.com, you didn't know, or you haven't basically watched any news program in the entire country or followed any social media channel, another house fell in Rodanthe on, let's see, that would have been last week, 16th. That would be
Friday.
Friday, yeah, last Friday. I'm trying to do my math here. Last Friday evening, where another house fell in Rodanthe. Got the video from Chickamauga Bank's Fire and Rescue, and I want it's one of those things when you do what we do. Sometimes, to me anyway, let's get it out there, and then let's get I've always had this thing about, rather get it right than get it first. So a lot of times with stories, I'll have a story and I want to make sure I got everything together, then put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
May not be the first one to get it out. But when you get video like this, and I wish I could mute this better. This is one of the things. I know it sounds louder. All right, hang on. I'm gonna mute it. So let's see if I can get it on the screen here. So in case you haven't been watching things, or didn't know about this. There we go. All right, I gotta play it again. So mute. But those of you watching, well, the video of the house at the end of Corbina Drive that went into the ocean, 7th house since 2020. So posted that, got the video up from Chickamauga Bank's Fire and Rescue, put it out on our socials to try and just get that out there because I knew, hey, you know what? It's Friday night. Let's just blow up all the assignment desk editors on Friday night, which is what happened. How many times have I said that stuff that kept breaking on Friday and pretty much, hey, you know what? The last couple of weekends, if you worked in our industry, you were working all weekend. So the house falls in. Oh, boy. Get all choked up about it. House goes in the ocean. We get the video out there. Get it out on Twitter first. Because it's the fastest way. It's my connection to the outside media world, so they've got it, so they can use it on their stuff. Well, didn't expect what happened because then all of a sudden it starts blowing up. I figured out how this happened, but man, I wish it hadn't happened. Only because the phone itself, the notifications on my phone, just go insane. So Rex Chapman, who played basketball at Kentucky, back in the late 80s, went on to play for the Hornets. He retweeted it. And he's a polarizing figure on Twitter, has been for a long time. As of this moment, that video has been viewed 4 million times.
That's off of
my,
not the other places that have been sharing.
No, well, because with the way it works, they share it, but it plays off of my social, of my Twitter. 4.2 million views. I have not had one do that. I don't know if I've had one that big. That might be the biggest one so far. I mean, I've had a lot. I mean, it got shared. I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers right now. And it got shared by... Man, it got shared by... This thing sometimes... Elmo, you screwed this website up so much. Anyway. But 4 million times, like 28,000 shares. It's insane. But, man, we just talked about the hope and angry people. Woof.
Well, we won't go down
But
there.
it's on both sides
of
the political aisle when it comes to it. Whether the people who scream about building on the oceanfront, and then knowing, well, yeah, but this house was 4 houses back when it was built in 1973, and there was 12-foot dune and 250 yards of beach in front of it until about 15 years ago. All that stuff. So yeah, the notification. So sometimes when it happens, it happened. That was one of the ways things kind of blew up for me professionally, was Hurricane Irene, 2011, where it was, we started and we saw the numbers just explode. I was not one. You remember, I did not want to be on Facebook. I was not a fan of Facebook. I liked
he
Twitter.
got mad. I got on first
because I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't think I was just one didn't get it, and then it was like, well, that's what turned everything around, was Hurricane Irene and Facebook. But there are, every time we do content, I'm not going to lie, every time we put together content, there's a hope that one day it's going to be the one. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the thing. But it ends up being this that, takes things to the next level. But I'm always thinking about it. But there are so many pitfalls. I see it, I mentioned that one guy last segment, Clay Travis. He has been like crucifying a reporter from CNN, I think it is, or CBS, on Twitter. But I mean, the attacks that she has on, and they're all racist attacks. They're misogynistic. They're racist. That type of thing. That hasn't happened, but occasionally you do get that, and you have to put it out of your mind that most of these people, we make the joke about they're all 40-year-olds living in the basement of their parents' house. I mean, yeah, they are. Most of them shouldn't have.
So here's the difference between Sam and I.
Right.
You're you said right. You don't even know what I'm going to say. Sam is very good at letting it roll. Believe it or not, even though you had your outburst earlier.
Yeah.
You are very, very good at not looking at looking at the comments and being like, yeah, that's stupid, or yeah, that whatever. You do not jump in.
Right.
And I can't not jump in. Mm-hmm. Like I've really gotten good. I've gotten better. But like yesterday I saw that picture that was a week old. Yeah. And I was like, are you kidding me? And start reading the comments. And then I get in and I'm like, it's a week old. Like, I don't know why I'm just now jumping in, but I had to say a couple comments and then I did step away. But I just have this thing in me that it's not that I always have to be right, although I love to be right.
Or get the last word in.
Well, that is my problem. I do have to get the last word in. Right. And I hate that about myself. Mm-hmm. I really do. But I also, not only do I want to get the last word in, the problem with me is I will say this, I am pretty good at putting myself in somebody else's shoes.
Right.
I may not always vocalize that, but in my brain, I am pretty good about like, well, if I was in their shoes, or where are they coming from?
Yeah.
And I get very frustrated because I don't feel like everyone always puts themselves the other way. So I always want the last word in, and I want it to be listen to see my side of it. It's not necessarily always wanting to be right. It's okay to not be right, but I do want people to like be like, oh, I see where she might be coming from. So anyway, you're very good at
not feeding the trolls.
And I'm bad at it.
It is hard not to feed the trolls. And it's Mina Kimes at ESPN who's been attacked by Clay Travis and his underlings and worshipers, etc. And the weird part about that is
giving him way more
Fox Sport. They are Fox Sports, ESPN. You don't normally see that on the sports side, but anyway.
Well,
but yeah, feeding the trolls is what it's called. And sometimes you want to feed. I mean, sometimes you want to feed the trolls, but sometimes you want to feed the trolls so that they end up choking on their own.
But I will
vomit. But but yes, for me it's easy because I will make a comment or post something and turn comments off, so I don't see it.
Well, and for me, I will say the only place I do this is Facebook, which is like the most ridiculous place because I already know most of the people that I'm quote unquote arguing with or whatever, and I know I'm not going to change their mind or they're not going to change mine. But like, I love me some TikTok, but I don't ever, unless I just comment, oh, I love that or this. I mean, I never engage. Like, I never go back and look at I don't ever engage. So it's funny because the only place I seem to be is with people whom I may run into on a daily basis, which is crazy. But anyway, Sam is very good at letting things roll, and I'm not. So,
well, and you have to. Because you have to be able to take the criticism when you do this, because there are people that don't like what you do, don't like what you write, don't like what you say, even if you're, trying to keep it, as I've always talked about. Yeah, my personal beliefs I don't put into my journalism ever. I would never do that. Never do that. Do I have ways of writing things so that it brings across a point of view of the people who I'm covering? Yes, I will do that, because there are some things about our area that are unique. It's what makes the Outer Banks unique, that maybe people that don't understand it, trying to explain better why people think and do the things they do, whether it's the fishing is a great example of this, the commercial fishing, recreational fishing battle that's going on. One, there shouldn't be a battle because they're all working with the same resource. And in many cases here, it's a different mindset, because most everybody who's a commercial fisherman loves the recreational fishing. They get it, that how much it drives our economy out here. Whereas in other parts of the coast, they don't get it, and they want to fight over it constantly. So, it's a different mindset, and trying to put that out there. This is a little example of it. But, yeah, it's hard not to feed the internet trolls, because they make it so easy. Then they set you off, but at times it's just like, you know what? Turn it off, move on, go on to the next thing.
They know my triggers.
Go on to the next thing. So
anyway, I am very proud of you though, having a viral video and doing it, and I think you always handle things professionally better than I would. So I've always been proud of you for that. So
I'm trying to get you into it. All right. Now let's go for a run. We'll just make it quick. Just the highlights. Race on the runway. That's Saturday, October 5th at the Currituck Airport. You got a 10K, a 5K, and a 1 miler there. It's all part of the Plains and Plows event and the Currituck Sheriff's Community Night Out. All
right. You've got the 21st Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation 5K. It's on Saturday, October 12th. Before or after football games at Kennekeet Shores.
It's in the morning, so it works. Yeah, it works perfect. Well, game day will be on. So, OBX Running Company, the only events now they've got, all the rest of them are wrapped up for the summer, but they do have the Lighthouse 5K and the 1 miler. That's every Wednesday through September 11th at 8 a.m. at the Whalehead Club in Corolla. Details at theobxrunningcompany.com.
The Outer Banks sporting events, they have their Outer Banks Triathlon. That's on September 14th. They have another round 25K. That's on Saturday, October 19th. Town Bank Outer Banks Marathon and Half Marathon. That's a big one, y'all. November 8th to 10th. And you can get all the details at obxse.com.
Berry Island Group with the Labor Day Lighthouse 5K in Buxton on Monday, September the 2nd. And the second annual Holiday Hustle 5K, that's Saturday, December 7th at Fort Raleigh National Historic Site. And all their info is at barrierislandgroup.com.
And then you have the Coast Guard Marathon. Registration is open right now for the 5th annual Coast Guard Marathon. That includes a full marathon, half marathon, 5K, kids 1K run, plus some combos there, 5K half, 5K full, junior 1K and 5K. But you can get all that information as well as information about their virtual options at thecoastguardmarathon.com.
All right. What's happening at SamWalkerOBXNews.com, the Theater Dare. They're winding down the summer with the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged. The final performance of that is on Wednesday, August 28th at 7:30.
This is the final weekend to see The Lost Colony through Saturday at 8:30 p.m. at Waterside Theater at Fort Raleigh National Historic Site in Roanoke Island. The weekly Avon Farmers Market, that's every Tuesday through September the 10th. Join the Corolla Wild Horse Fund every Wednesday this summer for Mustang Mornings at the farm, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Betsy Dowdy Equine Center, 102 Young Rider Lane in Grandy.
The Tri-Villages Market at Camp Hatteras Campground and Waves is still going on Wednesdays from 9 until 1 through September the 25th.
The award-winning Town of Manio's Downtown Market every Saturday through September 14th at George Washington Creek Park in downtown Manio from 9 to 1.
The Corolla Cork and Craft, that's every Wednesday evening at the Whalehead Club through September the 11th.
The Acoustic Sunset Wind Down with live music and food trucks every Thursday through September 26th at Sanctuary Vineyards. Proceeds benefit a variety of nonprofit organizations.
Dowdy Park Farmers Market, that concludes its summer run in Nags Head on Thursday the 29th of August.
The Soundside Labor Day Weekend Market on Sunday, September 1st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Soundside Event Site in Nags Head.
Currituck Wildlife Festival is back. That's Saturday, September 7th and Sunday, September 8th at Currituck High School in Barco.
Celebrating its 20th anniversary in 2024, the annual Day at the Docks Festival is returning once again this fall and will be held on Friday and Saturday, September 13th and 14th in Hatteras Village.
And the Outer Banks' largest family surfing event, that's the Throwdown Surf Classic on Saturday, September 21st at the Chickahawk Beach Access in Southern Shores.
Join the Currituck Education Foundation, which I think I'm joining, for the 2024 Pork and Pearls Pig and Oyster Roast on Saturday, October 12th.
Yeah.
From 5:30 to 9:30 at Currituck Barbecue in Barco.
And Blackbeard's Pirate Jamboree invades Ocracoke Island on November 1st and the 2nd. So that is it for this edition of the Sam
NM
Podcast, brought to you by Coinjock Catering Company, Miles Carpet Cleaning, Harlow Photography, Crabdaddy 2024 Seafood and Wine Festival at Sanctuary Vineyards, Caribbean Pools and Spas, CMIT Solutions, the Outer Banks, and ToyotaTowler.com. And as we talked about at the top of the show, make sure you like and follow, subscribe, hit the bell, and share. Like and share the episodes for your chance to win those tickets to Crabdaddy. Get your founder memberships at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. For the 2-ticket giveaway, the annual members get 4-ticket. That's the 4-pack. It's the founders. 4-pack for the founders, right, with the 5 extra entries if you go annual status. Members all get into a drawing for 2. All that at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. Find us on your favorite podcast app, on the YouTube, on the Facebook. Give us those 5 stars. Interact with us. Give us your thoughts and topics for future episodes. Troll us if you will. We'll talk about it next week on the show. You can hit us up at samwalkerobxnews@gmail.com. So we'd love to hear from you about other things you'd like for us to talk about besides ourselves. And DM us on the socials. So, hey, all right. So are we going to go paint, or what are we doing this afternoon? Or are we going to clean the house?
I need to clean the inside, but we can paint too. We can do it all. Maybe do
that.
Sanctuary Vineyards tonight.
We will end up doing it all if we do all that. So, all right. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us on the Sam
NM
Podcast. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.